With the mass shooting in Sutherland Springs still fresh on our mind, we want to know what's being done to keep guns out of the hands of domestic violence offenders.
Investigative reporter Jeremy Rogowski discovered Harris County and much of Texas is falling short.
Mia and Len, federal and Texas laws are clear. Domestic violence abusers cannot have a gun. But here's the problem. There is little done to enforce the law. And we found offenders went on to commit other gun crimes.
She was the life of the party. She was just an awesome girl. We miss her dearly every day.
Joe Estrada's daughter Julie could not escape the abuse of her common-law husband. In September 2016, Roy Garcia Jr. shot at her and their 3 children while getting ready for school. They survived. Garcia Jr. pleaded guilty to the assault and was forbidden in writing from having a gun. But the problem this grieving father now knows:
there's not a checks and balance. Who's going to check on me to see if I have a weapon? Nobody.
A year later, Garcia Jr. allegedly murdered Julie with a gun.
People need to wake up. There's always a danger lurking around the corner.
In Harris County, the danger is real. KHOU 11 Investigates found more than 100 domestic violence offenders over the past 3 years, went on to get charged with other gun-related crimes: murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated kidnapping, and aggravated robbery. Like this, a string of cell phone store robberies by gun-toting thieves.
We need to start demanding action, and we need to start demanding action to make victims safer and offenders accountable.
Tracy Grinstead Everly is with the Texas Council on Family Violence.
If they have access to firearms, the next step is to use them.
They have used them in the worst of ways, from an Orlando nightclub to a church in Sutherland Springs. Studies show more than half of all mass shooting suspects had a history of domestic violence.
I think that across the country and the state that we can do better.
Across the country, only 14 states have programs in place to confiscate guns from domestic violence offenders. In Texas, only a handful of counties with a handful of judges do it. Dallas Judge Roberto Cañas is one of them.
I do believe it saves lives.
Judge Cañas also requires the surrender of guns for anyone with a civil protective order against them.
It gives peace of mind to the judge, at least it does for myself.
But in Harris County, there is no gun surrender program.
Has this been frustrating, trying to get it off the ground?
It has been frustrating.
Frustrating because judges and police are on board with the idea, says victims advocate Amy Smith.
It's getting the logistics done to figure out how we're going to do this. If we can save one person's life, that's a huge thing and a huge reason to do it.
But for victims' loved ones, the time is not for talk, it's for action.
I think that if we can continue with this message and don't give up, I think that eventually we can get this point across to everybody.
Well, at the earliest, advocates say it may take up to a year to launch a gun surrender program in Harris County. But in any given year, there are more than 5,000 new domestic violence cases in Harris County. No telling how many of those offenders have guns. Mia?
Let's hope something is done eventually. Thanks so much, Jeremy.